There was once a small village nestled between green hills where everyone knew one another. In that village lived a woman named Sarah with her husband David and their 2 young children. They were not wealthy, but their home was filled with love. Every evening, David returned from work with a smile, and the family would gather around a simple dinner table, sharing stories and laughter. They dreamed of giving their children a better future through honesty and hard work. Then, one heartbreaking day, tragedy struck. While working at a construction site, David met with a fatal accident. By sunset, Sarah's life had changed forever. The man who had stood beside her through every joy and hardship was gone. For weeks, Sarah could hardly believe what had happened. The silence in the house felt unbearable. Every corner reminded her of her husband. But the greatest burden was not her grief. It was the future of her children. Bills continued to arrive. Food became difficult to afford. School fees seemed impossible. Many nights Sarah cried after putting her children to bed, wondering how she would survive. One morning, she looked at her children sleeping peacefully and realized something. "My husband is gone," she whispered to herself, "but my responsibilities are not." From that day forward, she decided she would never allow sorrow to defeat her. She began baking bread and homemade cakes from her small kitchen. Every morning before sunrise, she carried baskets from house to house, selling whatever she could. Life remained difficult, but little by little, hope returned. One afternoon, after delivering bread, Sarah stopped at a neighborhood grocery store to buy rice, vegetables, and cooking oil. She counted every coin carefully before paying. The shopkeeper packed her groceries, accepted the payment, and handed her the change. Sarah thanked him and walked home. Later that evening, while organizing her purse, she noticed something unexpected. The shopkeeper had accidentally returned $50 more than he should have. For a moment, she simply stared at the money. $50 could buy groceries for an entire week. It could pay part of her children's school expenses. No one would know if she kept it. For several minutes, she sat quietly. Then she folded the money carefully and placed it back into her purse. The following morning, she returned to the grocery store. The shopkeeper looked surprised. "Did you forget something?" he asked. Sarah smiled gently and placed the money on the counter. "You accidentally gave me too much change yesterday." The man counted it twice. Then he looked up in disbelief. "You walked all the way back just to return this?" Sarah nodded. "It doesn't belong to me." The shopkeeper shook his head. "Most people would have kept it." Sarah replied calmly, "I may be poor, but I don't want money that isn't mine. Losing my honesty would cost far more than gaining a few dollars." The shopkeeper remained silent. Her words stayed with him long after she left. That evening, while closing his store, he remembered something. A week earlier, one of his suppliers had mistakenly undercharged him for a shipment. He had noticed the mistake, but had said nothing. He drove to the supplier's warehouse the next morning and paid the missing amount. The supplier looked at him with surprise. "You could have kept quiet," he said. The shopkeeper smiled. "I almost did, but someone reminded me that peace of mind is worth more than easy money." The supplier couldn't stop thinking about those words. Several nights later, while reviewing old documents, he found an unpaid agreement from years earlier. Long ago, when his business was struggling, a close friend had loaned him money without asking for interest. Before he could repay it, his friend passed away unexpectedly. Over time, the debt had been forgotten, but now his conscience would not let him rest. He calculated what the loan would be worth after all those years. The amount had grown significantly. The next day, he withdrew the money and searched for his late friend's family. When he reached the address, he knocked gently on the door. Sarah opened it. The supplier recognized the family name immediately. "You are David's wife?" he asked softly. She nodded. With tears in his eyes, he handed her an envelope. "This belongs to your family." Sarah looked confused. The man explained everything. "Many years ago, your husband helped me when no one else believed in me. His loan allowed me to start my business. I never had the chance to repay him. Sarah slowly opened the envelope. Inside was enough money to completely change her family's future. She looked up with tears streaming down her face. "I never expected this," she whispered. The supplier smiled. "Neither did I, until someone else's honesty reminded me of the debt I still carried." That day, Sarah realized something beautiful. She had returned money without expecting anything in return, yet life had found its own way of rewarding her honesty. Not through luck, not through coincidence, but through the quiet chain of integrity that one honest decision had started. Sometimes we believe that small choices don't matter, but every act of honesty influences another person. Every act of kindness inspires another act of kindness. Character spreads just as quickly as dishonesty. Life has a remarkable way of returning what we give to the world. You may not see the results tomorrow, you may not see them next month, but truth has a way of finding its way back. So always choose honesty, even when no one is watching. Choose integrity, even when life feels unfair. Because money may solve today's problems, but a clear conscience creates a lifetime of peace. And in the end, the greatest wealth anyone can possess is a character that never needs to hide from the truth.